people. This is your girl, Davisha L Johnson, and this is Monday Conversations with My Black People. Today is May 11th, and we are going to be talking about creatives today, and what that, let me go ahead and turn stuff down right now before stuff starts popping off. Sorry. We're going to talk about creatives and the different opportunities creatives have during COVID-19 for a hashtag Plan B about getting you some money and figuring out what you're going to do with yourself. So this is Monday Conversations with My Black People. If you are tuning in for the first time today, welcome. If you are back again, thank you. Make sure that you share this, have a watch party with your Facebook friends. If you come on, you can have a watch party while I'm doing the show and share it with your friends. Today we're going to be talking about creatives and creative opportunities in this space that we're in right now during COVID-19 and what that looks like for making money for a hashtag Plan B. We're going to be talking to my friend Paul Carr up in Michigan. He is a member of the Global Africa Business Association, but he's also affiliated with RAFT, and I will let him tell you what that is. But he operates in a creative and cultural space up in Detroit. They're doing a huge project in Inkster, Michigan. They've already started having some murals on some buildings out there to spur economic development. So he is someone I just met also again, but someone that I feel is very important to talk about these types of spaces. So I want to bring on Paul, and he's going to talk about what creatives look like in this space. Paul, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good.
Good. Thank you for being on Conversations with My Black People. So I was just telling our guests, today we're going to be talking about creatives and what the opportunities are for creatives in the COVID-19 space, whether you make, websites or you do, you produce music or you make flyers. Like, there's so much opportunity that I know about. And I just wanted you to kind of introduce yourself, tell us where you are in the world, and tell us a little bit about the organization you're affiliated with, and then we'll start our conversation.
Okay. All right. Well, my name is Paul Carr. I am in Detroit, Michigan. I'm born and raised here. Spent some time in Atlanta. Spent some time in Washington, D.C., working in Houston, Texas, around down south with the Source magazine.
Okay.
I moved back to Michigan in 2005, and maybe 2010, started working for myself again. Started working for myself. I'm an audiophile music engineer.
Okay.
And at the time was doing some consulting and artist development independently. Had aspirations of starting a vanity label with my longtime business partner and associate that I grew up with. Shout out to DJ Whip.
Okay, DJ Whip.
In the process of talking about our vanity label, probably 3 or 4 years after I started working independently, we met with our attorney, who was an entertainment attorney. We came up with in high school, and decided to start our nonprofit called RAFT, Recordings, Arts, Films, and Technology.
Now, what does that mean again? Say it one more time.
Yes, RAFT is an acronym that stands for Recordings, Arts, Films, and Technology.
Nice.
And we are free for use atelier or creative space, encouraging artistic interactivity and small business incubation.
Nice.
Through the monetization of intellectual property. So
Basically, people that are just tuning in, what he said is the stuff that you know you can make money off of it. That's what that meant. For all of you people that didn't understand those big SAT words, Paul just spat out. And for all you people in the back that weren't listening, the things that are in your brain that you know, all you creative folks and anyone else out there, is your intellectual property, and you can make money or monetize it. Absolutely. And Paul's going to talk to us about what that looks like for creative. So tell us a little bit more about RAFT and what your current projects are, and kind of how you think our viewers can understand what that looks like in the COVID-19 space.
Okay, so pre-COVID-19, RAFT is essentially a hub that pulls creatives together in their respective mediums, whether you're a music producer or a songwriter or a musician, or you're a visual artist, the photographer, painter, sculptor, whether you are a film or you do set design, or if you are a tech developer, a hacker, a coder, a maker.
Okay.
We pulled people together, so that was us pre-COVID-19. We have a program that we work with young creators called Set Sail, which pairs existing creatives with aspiring creatives and kind of shows them the ropes and a hands-on apprenticeship.
So it's like a mentorship program?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What we do is we actually help the young creators monetize their creativity while they're on the job.
Nice.
So we're helping them establish businesses through Set Sail, and that can start as young as middle school age kids.
Oh, so my son's a gamer. So can you prepare him with like a really professional gaming person?
We pair him with whoever we know that does coding,
Nice.
animation, and they work together. Usually we try to do it in groups so that we're I don't want to say killing two birds with one stone, but
right.
we're attacking multiple issues at once for different young creators.
Nice. So the people, I'm just sorry to cut you off. Let me just say this. So for those of you that are just tuning in, this is Monday Conversations with My Black People. I'm your host, Davisha L Johnson. We're talking to Mr. Paul Carr up in Detroit, Michigan about creatives and what that looks like in COVID-19. So what we're talking about now is, and for those of you people that are just tuning in, basically if you have teenage sons or teenage daughters sitting at home and they are on Minecraft is my go-to, because that's the introduction I have to what preteens and teenage looks like in the digital space when it comes to coding. So if you have teenage sons like mine that are sitting at home playing Minecraft all day, or even Fortnite, or are gamers or YouTubers, Paul can basically match them in groups with people that are also in that space that are successful, doing well, and help them, create businesses or the business opportunity. And that's what hashtag Plan B is about. It's not just about us as adults or people that have children. It's about the next generation also. So I just want everyone to keep in mind, as Raft has a facet of technology. Technology is changing every day, and these children that are sitting at home with all of this intellectual property that could be monetized as well for their future. So I just wanted to add that point, because a lot of the times we talk about, well, this is what we can do as adults, and this is what we can do, because most of our audience are adults, but most of our audience also are parents. And shout out to all the mothers and all the women that take care of children that are not theirs, or take care of their grandchildren, or anybody that takes care of kids. Yesterday was Mother's Day, so I just want to say happy Mother's Day to everyone. And Paul, I just want you to kind of walk us through what RAF stands for again, but then also each of those different areas. What does that look like during COVID-19?
Right. So RAFT stands for Recordings, Arts, Films, and Technologies.
Right.
And so in a post-COVID-19 world, we can't sit in the same spaces right now.
Right.
We haven't quite figured out how that social interaction is going to work. So in a post-COVID-19 world, the way RAFT is working is actually we're developing a set sail program so that we can telecommute our set sail program. So we're in the process of doing that. But also what we're encouraging creators to do, and kind of what we've been helping to consult with, is how do we reimagine and redevelop and renew our own skill set. That's kind of what this whole thing is an opportunity for a creator to do is when they start shutting businesses down, and I can't take credit for this analogy. This comes from some brothers up here, Hodge Fleming and Marcus Collins. They did right as COVID-19 kind of started taking over.
Right.
They did a teleconference and a workshop that I was privileged enough to be on, and Marcus talked about reimagining, which is one of the words that we always use at RAFT, but reimagining yourself and your brand as a creator. If you're, for instance, if you own a yoga studio and your business is deemed non-essential,
right,
this is an opportunity for you to reimagine your yoga studio as not a yoga studio, but a portion of the wellness industry, which is essential. Wellness and health is
Right.
key things that keep people from actually contracting COVID-19 or at least fighting it off if you come in contact with it, having a strong immune system. They're here to support that yoga, for example, can keep your immune system strong.
Right.
So now this is an opportunity for you to retool the way that you see your business or your brand and make it an essential business. It's not just a semantic thing, though. It is really about retooling your brand, your craft,
Right.
make it fit this problem solving in a post-COVID-19 world. So with artists, visual artists, let's take for
Okay.
example. A lot of people think of art as a luxury, but it's actually
Right.
a necessity and a commodity. Art is part of how human beings spread culture. It's how we
Right.
share culture. Culture is necessary to everything we do. If you're sitting in a chair right now listening to the Beat to Not Talk, the chair you're sitting in is cultural. It has form, but it also has a function. It has a very practical function, but the form is the design. The design is where we come in as creators. If someone
Right.
had to conceive of this and build it. So our thing is now helping creators reimagine what their brand is for post-COVID-19 problem solving. So even if you're a visual artist or a recording artist, what can you be doing in post-COVID-19 with all your equipment? Let's say you ran a pre-production studio out of your house.
Right.
Folks coming in your basement or your garage and it's all set up for recording. But you can't really do that. You don't want to put yourself, your family, or the artists that are coming to patronize you at risk. This is an opportunity for you to use technology that you have, hardware, couple it with software to do beat sales or to be having people, you can sell your tracks rather. You can have people send you which is something that musicians and audio file mixing their projects in
Right.
the comfort of your home and do everything digital transaction. So the music musicians and the recording artists are kind of already in I don't want to say a post-COVID-19
Right.
world,
That's what they were doing anyway.
Absolutely. So
right.
The same thing with the tech developers. Like there are times when you can hire someone, you go on Fiverr right now and get someone to design your business cards or your flyers or whatever it is.
Right.
And never have met them. You send them the files, you pay them, they do the work, you proof it, and you get your stuff back to you.
Right.
Same thing goes for kind of videographers. If you have B-roll footage that you already have in stock, and this is a good time for you to go out and get it if you don't have B-roll, so that when you're editing your work, you can get a lot of stuff.
That's a good suggestion, and I wanna talk about that, but I also want to talk about what you said right before that about people that were already doing this, and it's not really a post COVID-19. It's kind of what we were doing anyway. That's mostly for people like me also that are independent contractors. I was working from home anyway, so this is what I was doing. But I want to talk about that because what I find in my business. And I don't want to misuse this word or this phrase rather, but they're not culture vultures, but they are. And then also talk about business vultures is what I would call them right now. And I guess it's a double-edged sword because what you're saying is the yoga studio should transform their business into something else. But I feel like in the creative space and just the creativity of making a product like music or anything or flyers or something like that, I find that there's other companies that don't do this, aren't in this space at all, that are now offering those services in this space, which then drowns out the people that have been doing this, which is usually people that look like us. And now you have, and I'll even take it a step further because the president was talking about it the other day. They had Silicon Valley companies changing their car manufacturing companies into making masks when they're already mask making companies. So, what do we do as creatives about not letting business vultures come in and kind of take our business, or how do we therefore, distinguish ourselves from the influx of people that are going digital?
Well, I think that you're hitting on a couple of really really heavy topics.
right. On a Monday.
This is something that we've been dealing with, since the beginning. You get Black Wall Street, and then you got people that bomb it. You know what I mean? So we're told, we're told to, do do it on your own, or don't stay over there and do your thing, and then when we do our things, burn down or certain or
right,
whatever the case. Or in Detroit, for instance, you got Black Bottom, and then there's legislation that runs a freeway through prominent business districts that Black people have developed and built from the ground up.
right.
However, one thing that we don't do as consumers enough is circulate our dollar with ourselves.
Right.
So, I mean, and I think that what we can all say, at least I can say that I'm guilty of it to some degree, is that I probably spent, more money on Amazon since COVID-19.
Right.
Beforehand with independent contractors and just having to stick it out and wait
right.
a week for my product.
Right.
So that takes some discipline on the consumer's part. So as consumers, we need to make sure that we're buying our T-shirts from Black printers right now.
Right.
There's a brother, Pierre Bindle, Miles' brother, who online, he is at Exit the Apple, and he is a multifaceted creative and a multimedia creative. You might know his work. You see these people all over the internet with these shirts that say "Shit's been weird ever since Prince died." Well, ever since Prince died, shit's been weird.
I haven't seen that, but I like it.
It's dope. And then his wife Jamila, who's one of my sisters from Spelman. I was down at Morehouse. She runs Oyin, OYIN, which is a Black owned and operated skin and hair care company. You can find their stuff at Target. I think they're also in Walmart. But supporting them online is important.
Right.
For example, as opposed to buying some shit from Amazon that we can get because we're used to going to Amazon.
Right.
Wait if you have to, and it takes some discipline to plan out your spending. So okay, I need to get this now, but it's going to take an additional week or two coming from an independent Black-owned and operated business. So we have to, as consumers, recognize that we hold the responsibility for supporting the arts in our community. We can't rely on the creators to come up with the solutions and with the solutions which is what they do, and force us to patronize them. We have to have the discipline enough to patronize our Black owned and operated creative institutions. There's restaurants and support. Here in Detroit we got a heavy Black vegan community. It's real deep, and there's a lot of really, really dope vegan chefs, and they don't have brick and mortar spots. So many of them were already set up, to thrive. So we just gonna have to keep it moving. We're Cash Apping, or we're doing PayPal, and whatever we're doing in order to send them their money, and they get the food the same way that we were doing it. But it just takes us having discipline. I think that it's really the only way that I can answer that question.
Right. Let me just add this too, Paul. I think while people are sitting at home doing online shopping, you're already on the computer or you're already on your phone. It takes the extra 5 seconds for you to Google the same thing that you're going to buy on Amazon, a Black person that made it. So so there's that. These things are not complicated, people. Okay, so if you're looking to go on Amazon and buy something, what Paul is saying that we need to circulate our dollars in our community, A, and then B, stop. You're already on the internet, so there is really no excuse right now. Before there was, I can't find a Black such and such while I'm driving down the street to go, or I can't find a Black. Well, right now you're not supposed to be going anywhere anyway. But if you are, take the time to put in the GPS Black. Google is your friend. Siri knows everything. She knows how to get you. Type it in, press the voice button, and say, Siri, where's the Black-owned barbershop, or where's the Black-owned something. Wherever you're looking for to buy online or to patronize in person, I think is the opportunity now for you to go find those people and those spaces. But in addition to that, I really don't think, and this is going to be another heavy statement, I don't think that Black people and as Black business owners, we should say it's okay, or we should say we have to understand that if it's coming from a Black-owned and operated business, we have to wait an extra week. Like there's no, I think the information is missing on both ends, and on the business end, I think black business owners, yes, we are small, and yes, we start out small, and we have to do certain things to get by. But I also think there's information that we're missing on how to work more efficiently and be able to be competitive and putting ourselves in these spaces. And a lot of the time that has to do with finances, but a lot of the time it doesn't. It has to do with financial education. So we may have the money to do it, but don't know that DHL offers a corporate service to get our stuff there. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a double-edged sword, or it burns on both ends. Consumers need to be aware that you can just go Google some stuff and find out where to buy black, basically. And then us as black independent business owners and creatives, I think we need to have more information sharing on the ease of doing business so that we can be more competitive.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point. I didn't know the ins and outs of how DHL would even offer that for a small business. I think that for whatever reason we're slightly more tolerant. I ain't gonna say slightly. We're very much more tolerant
right.
and patient when it comes to how we're treated.
Right.
The quality of service outside of our community. I know people have tried businesses, black-owned restaurants, and something might be a little bit late. They might have had to wait, an additional 5-10 minutes or whatever.
Right.
For whatever reason, or they didn't quite like it, but they will never go back to that black-owned restaurant where McDonald's has made you sit 20 times, but you're pulling up in the drive-thru.
Right.
So
right.
A lot of this again is a perspective and a discipline. We really have to discipline ourselves. But the same holds true for the creative, and that's what you're saying. The creative has to discipline themselves and find alternatives and look for that. For instance, like with these masks, everybody's wearing. Like, I've supported. You go online, Blood, Sweat, and Tears INTL at Blood, Sweat, and Tears INTL. They're black-owned and operated clothing company. I know the owners. Of the clothing line. They're geniuses. They're both artists. Two brothers from Michigan, Horace and Yusuf Davis, and they are incredible. I got this mask. It's reusable. It's got a MERV 13 filter in it, but you can hand wash it with a little bit of dish detergent. It's water, and it cleans very well, very easily. It's dry within an hour. And it's one size fit all. It adjusts around your nose. You can pinch it, but it's dope. And it's a dope design. It says "Panic" in big, bold, white letters.
Wow.
Here, it's just kind of a conversation piece.
Right.
So there's still form and function in this, but supporting them. I was able to get my mask very quickly from them. They're handmade in LA. They're overseen by Yusuf, who's the founder, and Horace is his brother.
Can you do me a favor, Paul? When we're done this show, can you just go back on Facebook and put in their website information? Because this is good information that people need to have to find out where these black businesses are. And I think the mask thing right now, because COVID-19 is not going away, and you're going to need masks continuously, and they have little pop-up, how black folks are. We figure out how to make some money out of anything. So these folks down the street from my house have a tent and a table. The tent don't even have a top on it. But it's a tent with a table, and they're selling decorative masks for $5 a piece. And that's all creative money. That's all creative space. Everybody wants something on their mask to say something. And most of that comes from people buying the logo or buying the art at a considerably low rate, and then going and monetizing that artist or that creative's one thing that you provided. They're now making $5 a pop at 100 people a day.
Right.
That's money and I think that's a better, deeper business conversation that we have time for on this show. But as creatives, like, we have to think past just the initial sale. Like, what are the long-term business opportunities? If I sell you this, then I want, 1%, just like you do in the music industry. If you sell a beat or something, you can go sell it, or you can get some royalties off of it.
Absolutely.
The creators need to do the same space, especially with these masks right now, my black people. If you're listening to this right now, or listening to this later on, or watching this later on, this is Conversations with My Black People. We're talking to Paul Carr about creatives up in Detroit, Michigan. And if you guys are making masks right now, or you know how to sew and have a sewing machine, and you're making masks for somebody, think about the long-term possibilities, because they want to make money and they need the art. So if you're continuously making logos and just art pieces for masks or for gowns or for, because eventually somebody's gonna start putting some stuff on gloves. You need to start thinking about getting 50 cents for each piece that sells, or even 10 cents. Those 2 cents rather adds up, because imagine if you got 2 cents off of every time McDonald's sold a Big Mac.
Absolutely. That's real. And see, with these guys, they're making high-end pieces, and then COVID-19 hits, and they shift gears to serve a function, to fill a function.
Right.
And so their form just happens to be dope. You know what I mean? Just so happens to be very, very fly. So they even got the ones for Atlanta. Now they have the ones with the Rotten Apple logo that they created for the New York Cats.
Right. That's cute.
And it's super dope. But overall, the first mask that started was the panic mask.
Right.
I'll definitely link that down. But again, this goes back to what we were talking about. Reimagine what your brand is and what purpose you serve. A creative anyway should be thinking about problem solving.
Right.
Whether you're a painter and you're expressing yourself, you look at artists in Atlanta, for example, the sister Shanique Bouquet, who she does these really, really dope pieces and masks that she's created, where people can wear them. Some of her installations, she has black women and black men with these masks that are essentially deer masks. It speaks to us being hunted.
Wow, that's deep.
And so that's a conversation piece that that she's having. She's doing virtual tours of her studio.
Nice. Yeah, definitely hook me up with her. Hook us up.
Yeah, absolutely. She's super dope. So she just, I think it was last year that she did an installation in Hammond's house in my old neighborhood in West End, when I lived in Atlanta. It's right down the street from where I lived, actually on Pico Street. So Hammond's house.
So all y'all listening and watching that are in Atlanta, is the Morehouse brother on the line. Let me just add that. I went to Morris Brown, so even though we were the redheaded stepchild, I'm just gonna still shout out the AUC.
It wasn't no redhead. Mo Brown. I spent a lot of time on Mo Brown.
Yeah, everybody spent a lot of time at Mo Brown, not in class. That's what everybody did.
Yeah, I didn't take classes at Mo Brown.
Right.
But I love Mo Brown though. I really do. I thought that out of the 4 schools in Atlanta University Center at that time, I always felt like Mo Brown was the realest.
Right. You right about that. Thank you. Shout out to all you Moby alumni, or those that just went there in general. I wanna wrap up the last couple minutes of the show to kind of talk about. You tell us where we can contact you, where we can reach you if creatives have. And for those of you just tuning in, this is Monday Conversations with My Black People. My name is Davisha L Johnson. I'm your host. We are talking to Paul Carr in Detroit, Michigan about creatives and what the opportunities are for your hashtag Plan B, and about transforming what you might have done post COVID-19, although it may be in the same space because you're already doing things digitally, but transforming some of your creative opportunities into making some money right now, whether that, if you have a brick and mortar, transforming what that looks like into a digital space, or if you are working online already, the different markets that you can get yourself in. So I want Paul to kind of give us his contact. If you guys have any questions, you can hit him on his social medias, find out what he's doing, get involved in what's going on in Inkster. We didn't get a chance to talk about that, but they got some great things going on in the creative and cultural space. So Paul, can you give us your information, your websites, and then he'll be back on to put the links on for the people that he's mentioned thus far.
Absolutely. So you can hit us at the website at Raft Detroit. It's RAFTDETROIT.org. That's our website, and then all of our social media is also at Raft Detroit, at RAFTDETROIT.
And it's raftdetroit.org?
Yes.
Okay, so I just put that in. I want to thank you, Paul, for coming on our show today to talk to our black people about the creative space. And I want to make sure that people contact you, and that we keep in contact for all the things that you're doing up there. I already know I'm going to be back in Michigan, and you'll be in Atlanta at some point. So I just want to thank you again for coming on the show and talking to my black people.
It was my pleasure and an honor. Thank you so much, sis.
All right, thanks.
Peace.
Bye. So that was Mr. Paul Carr, guys, on Monday Conversations with My Black People. This has been your host, Davisha L Johnson. Once again, to wrap up the conversation that we just had, if you are a creative and you are, we're already in a post-COVID-19 type of space, and you are already working at home, or you are already doing digital work, whether you are making flyers or the center, one thing that we did not mention, and I will give you as a little tidbit at the end, is think about different industries that you could be working in as well. So those of you that are making club flyers, there is so much money right now in politics for you to be able to make political flyers, because every single person running for office is still running for office, COVID-19 or not. Because they can't go out and knock doors, and they can't go out and touch people as they would, they have to do things digitally. So if you're a videographer that makes music videos, if you're a photographer that takes wedding pictures and you're missing some money right now, if you're a painter and you had art installations, like Paul was saying, she changed her paint into her installations into putting those pieces on masks, or making art for campaign flyers, or making art for political videos, because most candidates are going to need video, my candidates anyway, that I have put videos on their websites, but everybody needs a social media video at this point. So there is so much opportunity for your hashtag Plan B and the creative space during COVID-19. So just use your creativity that you already have for the money that you've already been making, and think about different industries that you can jump into as black people to go make this money. This has been your host. This has been Conversations with Black People, and I'm your host, Davisha L Johnson, and we will see you on Friday with more conversation. Peace out. Stay black.